Well, welcome back, guys. It is Monday. Obviously, it's Bank Holiday Monday. So, yeah. Uh, Hope you all had a good weekend. If you did join the live, thank you very much. I didn't do 24 hours. I was absolutely knackered. I got to about 18 hours and I just thought, you know what, I can't be bothered. The response on that wasn't too good as well. I mean, I had a lot more on my lives last time, when I did the 24 hour, I think it was last year. So I thought, you know what, I'm wasting my time here. I got what I wanted to got gone. If that makes sense. I got rid of the stuff, well, took pictures of the stuff that I wanted to clear. So I'm going to show you that before we get into the sales, because I have had a lot of sales over the weekend, and this is from probably late Friday all the way until now. So yeah, a lot of sales on both platforms, Vinted and eBay. I'm not going to show you over there because that's all the things that are sold, but that's all rubbish. It just needs clearing. Obviously, that is still there, which is all listed. The floor's all empty. Yes, it does need a clean, but yeah, fair enough. Obviously, if you was on the live, I said I couldn't do these. I offered this to one of my subscribers, saying you can have it for £100. Finding out it was actually worth £200. It's a Laura Ashley rug, really nice, big one, immaculate condition. And we got some, also some William Morris design Liberty of London curtains. So these are going to have to be taken downstairs because I haven't got a big enough room to lay these down. Obviously, Lego I'm not going to do. That I couldn't be bothered to do because one, it's Man United, plus it's sellotape to do rafters, and then also all the stuff there is Lego. I told you at the start I wasn't going to bother with Lego, but yeah, that is pretty much it for this room. The stuff on the landing is still there, but that's just one stereo system. Them two are already listed, but I just haven't took them down. And then there's some LOL dolls. But to the main room, yes, the carpets needs a hoover and that, but this is all I've got left, and this is not even stock. So that's just a bag that doesn't, it's not for sale. In here is some of the shark bits, which is going downstairs when I start doing all the shark bits. I have still got a few things there. That is the Marvel's plates, which I need to sort out because I wasn't going to do that in a live because it's too time consuming. They need a cleaning. But all this stuff here, except for that bit there, isn't stock. So this is just a rubbish bag when I was cleaning up a bit. Same with this, is bits and bobs, photos and stuff like that. This is like my old school stuff. This is just like wires, so nothing to sell. That is from one of my old videos about how to make money from nothing from your house. So I will be selling these in the next few weeks. Basically, you can make money from bog roll. Get a big bin bag. Yes, it's time consuming, but you can make yourself about 20 quid from about 200 bog rolls. So yeah, it's worth it. This is just all the Thomas the Tank Engine Trackmasters 3 pieces and some stuff. All this is obviously listed. This will all be sorted. In the live, I did say this is going to be all taken out. These doors are going to be taken out. That's going to be taken out. That's going to be taken out. All this beaming is going to be taken out. All the back and the sides. Well, I don't know about the sides, but all the back is going to be my laminate. And then the table, I did measure it on live, and it seems to fit. It goes to about here, and it goes straight across. So it'll be underneath there. So it'll be perfect. Then I'll have the lighting, obviously, and that will be my photo and my packing table. Oh yeah, I have got the box of trainers and shoes to do as well. So that is it. I was going to do them, but like I said, I just couldn't be bothered. I mean, I was like, I think the most I had on live was about 20. And thank you for the people who did stick around or came in and out throughout the hours I was doing. But I just felt like I can't be bothered, What is the point of me doing a live for 24 hours when really no one's even turning up? I mean, yes, we had people like Big Al coming in, but it was felt like, you know what? I've got 5,500 subscribers, and what? 20 are coming in. You know what? I'm not going to waste my time. If you can't be bothered, I'm not going to bother. And yeah, I'm not going to be doing another live again. Sorry, but I'm not. I've had enough of doing lives just for the sake of it. I thought, let's do lives. Let's, interact with you guys. And if only some of you can be bothered to come in. I can't be bothered to do it. I'm not getting appreciated by doing lives. So, you know what? I'm scrapping it. But guys, we are going to go on to the sales now. And like I said, I have had quite a lot of sales, both on Vinted and eBay. So let's get on with the sales. In total, we've had 16 sales from late Friday to like now. I haven't had none this morning, so these are literally Friday evening and Saturday and Sunday. Also, I will tell you about a couple of other sales. I've already mentioned them in a video, but that was on Friday as well. 22 orders throughout the weekend, which is not too bad. But first, we're going to go on to Vinted. I've had 9 orders on Vinted. Not big things, but a lot of people who came on the live actually bought some of the stuff. So I will give you a shout out to the people who bought stuff on the live. A couple of people, but also because I was getting bags of little bits and bobs, that don't really owe me anything. They really don't owe me anything. I was just putting them on Vinted. I've decided from now, anything that's worth 10 quid or under, I'm just going to stick it on Vinted, because after fees and all that, if I put it on eBay, it's really not worth it. I'll only put something which is worth a tenner on eBay if it's very, very sought after. Maybe like a battery or something like that. And we're going to go through Vinted first, because like I said, we've got more orders on Vinted than we have on eBay. In total, I've made 60 quid from the 7 orders on here. I've had this for ages, and it's a massive Action Man. It's actually vintage Action Man, like stealth, that a card pops out the bottom. I put this on for $14.99 and I've sold it for 12 quid. They did try and get it for 8 quid. I said, Nate, you know what? That car is probably worth about 20 quid itself, but I've had it for such a long time. There's some broken parts in there. The stickers haven't been put on, but they're crumpled up. Yeah, I just couldn't be bothered with it. While I was on the live, I came across some more of these. These owe me nothing. They was in the big suitcase I picked up from the auction age ago. Made my money back on it with one item because I had a catnip jelly cat, which sold for like 20 quid. But I had loads of TYs, other things, yeah, loads. But this owes me nothing. I put it on because I didn't really care about it for 2 quid, and it sold for 2 quid. You might say, oh wow, 2 quid. Ooh. But it all adds up. In the end of the day, it doesn't cost me nothing. Like I said, it's in a big bundle, so it owes me nothing. But that's paid for this today, so yeah, I got a free coffee out of it. So you're not going to say no to that, are you? Next item, 360 power block, Xbox obviously. Yeah, sold it for a £5. Remember when I had a lot of Xbox consoles and all that lot, and I couldn't find the power blocks? Well, these are all the power blocks. So I sold all the Xboxes as untested, so I made my money back. These were the power blocks for it. So I've made some more money from it. These owe me nothing. So that one sold for 5 quid. I sold 2 Xbox One power blocks for a £5 or 2. These have all been put up as untested, because yes, I can plug them in, but I don't know if it powers up the machine. So I have to put them as untested. So they owe me absolutely nothing. So I've made 10 quid off nothing. Another item I sold on Vinted was this Polaroid little DAB radio. Really nice. It doesn't come with the charger, but I put batteries in it and it all works. The little knobble on the end of the aerial has broke off. I put this on for $12.99 and somebody made me an offer of £10. So yeah, I took it. I can't tell you how much I paid for it. I really can't. I would have paid probably 1-2 quid for that. Another item, which was in that big, massive suitcase with all the TY dolls, obviously the Jellycat and so on, there's so much I can't remember, was these 2 really ugly, like, trolls. I think I've sold some of them before. There was a Christmas one, but I sold that separately, or it's somewhere else, I ain't got a clue. But there's also a really old one in there. I put these on for 2 quid. They sold literally in seconds. By the way, all the items that I've showed you so far on Vinted was listed on my live. So when I did the listings, well, I wasn't doing listings, I was taking pictures. But when it came up to stuff like that, which was going on Vinted, anything under a tenner, I would stick it on Vinted by just obviously taking quick pictures and then putting it on because I wanted it quickly gone. And every single one of these items was listed on the live. So just shows you, if you do list stuff at the right price, it goes. I do feel like I've underpriced on them trolls because they literally went in a second. So I probably could have got more, but you know what? In the end of the day, it's gone. Another item that literally went in seconds, and I understand why, was this Le Creuset whistle kettle. The reason why it sold so quickly is it was on Vinted for £5 on the live again, and I put it on for £5 because it is majorly corroded. I've put it in the description. It's really needs descaling. It's got some dents in. It's not in good condition, but for yourself, if you're going to use it yourself, it's a nice little pot or kettle, and I put it on for a £5. In seconds it went. It's from a subscriber. So Helen, she was one of the loyal ones that was on most of the time on the live. So Helen, thank you very much. It is an awesome backpack. Laptop bag. It's got a freezing, keep your food warm in the front. It's got a USB thing, so you can obviously charge up your laptop or whatever. It's got multiple pockets, got hidden pockets. It is such a good bag. You're probably looking around about a £50 bag. I think it is new, but I think it's been stored and it's got a bit of a stain. Well, it's got a little bit of a grub mark there. It's nothing, you can't even see it unless you know where it is. But yeah, she wanted it. She's the one that also wanted the actual Laura Ashley rug. So if you still want it, you know where it is. That will be going up very soon. But yeah, she bought this. I gave her a cheap offer because on the live I said, if you did come to on the live, anything you wanted on my store or what you saw me taking a picture of, you would have 20% off. But I gave her an offer of £10 for this, but she says, I'll give you 15. So thank you very much, Helen. Good life, something. Well, yeah, I don't even know how much I paid for this. Oh, yes, I do. I bought this at the weekend of Jesse's death, at the little jumble sale for £2. And yeah, I've sold it for 15. So that's all the sales from the weekend. The other two sales, what I was going to mention, was one was Ed the Duck. That sold for £4. You probably already know about that. And a Billabong back printed t-shirt for £10. With the other two sales, that's £74 over the 3 days. So not bad. Probably spent about £7 in total on these items because most of it was free from bundles. Like I said, that was £2. The Action Man thing, I think I've paid a £5 for it, but everything else was classed as free. Right then, on to eBay now. And we've had 7 orders from Friday night onto today, and that's totaling up to £346 and some pennies. So not too bad. Also on that Friday at the start of the day, I had 4 orders totaling up to £98. So I'll tell you about them at the end of when I show you all these items. Totaling up to about £444 on eBay. So eBay is not dead, okay? Remember, I've not been listing hardly, and I've only listed a few items yesterday and today. So what I'm doing with all the stuff I've took pictures of, I'm listing 10 a day, and I'm going to schedule so much every day. And yeah, like I said, not really listed much, and if I can get that many orders and that much amount of money, I'm all right. You know what I mean? In the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you sell, it's about how and what you sell. Sometimes you're going to sell little things, and it doesn't matter if you do, because it all adds up in the end of the day. But sometimes you get a few big ones, and in this lot here, what I'm going to show you, one of them, again, what I listed yesterday has already sold. On with the sales, and the first one is a big one, and it's this one. You probably see it in the corner throughout the video, and it's this is the big version. I have got a smaller one. She has bought this. This is the sale which was sold last night, and I had this on for $69.99. I can't remember the make, but there's a make that is very similar to this, but it has to have the marking on. If this had the marking on, right, if you do know the make what I'm on about, I can't remember off by hand, but yeah, this would be worth about 200 quid. I picked up this and a smaller version for, I think, 10 quid with a load of stuff. Kirsty, one of the subscribers, she bought a tray with like flowers on it. She paid, I don't know how much for that, but that paid for all of it. So yeah, I gave an offer of £50 for this and she accepted it. I also did mention the other one saying you can have it. That one's on for $39.99, so I said you can have it for $30. I am waiting back on her to obviously see if she wants that, but yeah, she definitely wants this one. So I sold this for 50 quid and what? I probably paid 3 quid for it. So absolutely, what a sale. For $5.99, I have sold another chest mount for obviously your GoPros and that. I picked a massive bundle. I think about 25 of these for 10 quid from a lad who I know who does clearance, house clearance and that. And he said, have the whole box for tenner. He's been on my channel before, and yeah, I think I've still got about 10 left. So guys, if you do want a chest strap, come to me. Yeah, and I'm selling for $5.99. So yeah, I'm mega in profit. This owes me nothing. The next item is something I listed on the live, and it's this. I was quite surprised on how much this goes for. These go for around about 20 quid, and guess what? I sold it for 20 quid. And I sold it on that same night. It's like a math set, coloured, numbered, like, well, not coloured numbers, but coloured, like, wooden blocks, different sizes. I can't remember, but I do remember certain wooden blocks when I was at... It's basically preschool, primary school things. Not nowadays, but back probably in the 70s, 80s. Really nice, immaculate condition inside. Probably owes me £1. The best sale of the weekend is in this box, and it's a big, massive bundle of Salvanian families. I was doing this live, and I was taking pictures, and I thought, I can't be bothered, right? I was checking out some prices, and I was thinking, wow, a sofa's worth about 20 quid in here. There was loads of animals, and I was thinking, you know what? I'm just going to bundle it all up, and there is loads, absolutely tons of it. But I had this feeling that if I taped it up, somebody will want it or ask for some pictures. It always happens, you know, if you don't explain it properly, or say you put something away in a box and you didn't do the measurements on it, somebody will say, what's the measurements for it? And you're like, oh, I've got to do it all again, you know, unwrap it all. But I thought, right, I'm just going to leave the things in the bags, spread them out in the bag. And somebody on Vinted said, can you tell me what's in the bags? Can you have, you know, send me some more pictures? So guess what I did? I had to go back outside because I put these in the shed, I think, or downstairs ready to go in the shed, and took pictures. I thought, you know what, I'm going to take pictures. Sent her all the pictures. Then I said, I'm actually going to list these up now on my eBay and on here Vinted with all the pictures, because it will obviously make more people want to buy it. She didn't even come back. Let's stick it on for 150 quid. Right, I seen other ones selling it for around that price, and I had a lot more of them. So I put it on for 150 quid, and nothing on Vinted, but on eBay, somebody offered me £110 for the whole box. I just went, yep, you can have it, because I only paid 10 quid for this. So, absolute awesome sale. Something I bought from the auction, which was a load of Star Wars things. Not the first time, but the second time I picked up a load of Star Wars stuff, and one was there was a load of like battleship games like this. This one is brand new. The box is damaged in certain areas, but it is brand new because that's all sealed up. It has never been used. I had this on for about 30 quid because that's how much it's worth. And yeah, it sold for 24 quid. So yeah, I think it owes me probably about 5 quid. Something I wish I never bought now, even though I do love the company and you know, it's a thing that I played with when I was a kid. It is micro machines. These things are not worth buying. If you want to make money on micro machines, don't bother with builds and stuff like that unless it's immaculate and it's it's virtually complete. I thought this would be worth at least 25 quid. It's not. It's not worth much. And the only things I think that are worth anything in micro machines are the military units, stuff like that, because it's got more desirability for other people, like military people and all that lot. I have sold like bundles of military little figures and obviously cars, planes and all that for a couple of £100 to America. So yeah, if you see them, pick them up. Stuff like this, not really worth it. I mean, I sold this for £14.99. Yes, I am going to make some money. I think I spent about £3 or £4 on it, but yeah. Is it worth my time? Not really. Just realised I've missed a Vinted sale out. I sold a load of Thunderbirds VHS, 5 of them in total, for £4. This was in the bundle of that thing that we had the wooden blocks on, had some other things. I think I had some Turtles VHS, Mr. Blobby, stuff like that. Anyway, on to the last sale, which I can show you. And I have sold some M&M figures. I've not only sold one, I've sold 2, which is the Saxophone Man and the Nutcracker. And one of my favourite ones, the ones where they're playing golf. So you all know about this video. It did quite well on YouTube as well. I picked up a big lot of M&M dispensers, all vintage, 1990s, early 2000s, imports from America, and I paid £100. Have I made my money back on it? Yes. Have I made any money? Yes. I don't know. I haven't really worked it out, but I know for a fact I've made my money back and I've made profit on them. I sold them 3 for £45, and yeah, like I said, I paid £100 for, I don't know, about 14, 15 of them. I think I've got about 3 or 4 left now, so yeah, I might just bundle them up together and sell them cheap just to get rid of them. So they're all the sales which I can show you from eBay, but I am going to go through the 4 sales that I can't show because they've already been shipped off. These are at the start of Friday, and one of them was a Livono smart clock. That one was a great little buy. I picked it up for £1 and it sold for £30. Then I've sold a Nike men's core coat. It's like a denim jacket from the Nike outlet. I sold that for £40. I think I paid about £15 for it, something like that. Then I sold a Pyrex dish. I did mention about this in my last proper video about Morrison's, where you spend so much money, you get vouchers and you can get a Pyrex item. Yeah, so this was absolutely free. I sold that for £17.99. And then finally I sold a little wind-up Wallace and Gromit dog for £10. Vintage, absolutely cool. So in total I made £98 from them 4. In total over the weekend I've made £518 and some pennies in sale. So seeing I haven't listed that much, I've only started listing again yesterday and today, I've done all right. I mean, what's all this thing about the algorithm you've got to list every day? Because I've just shown you don't need to, but obviously you do, because it does make you have a lot more sales, and we'll be seeing that very soon in my videos when I'm showing you I'm listing now every single day, scheduling every single day from what I've took over at 24 hours. But guys, thank you very much for this video. It's going to be quite a long one because I think I'm got to edit like about 50 minutes now, so I will cut it down. But guys, thank you very much. Give it a like, give it a share, comment down below, and I will see you, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, maybe not, I don't know.